how he punished him in this situation. Tried to play it slow and put it behind him and maybe hope that Daniel was going to panic. But Daniel didn't as he plays it smart. Flip reset for him. So he's trying to do what Chronic does to everybody else. Chronic hits him with the thanks. This is a nice play from Daniel. We just got done with the champ of the Feer 500 versus Daniel, our rank 1 warrior who's been in complete control of the ranked ladder for the past few weeks or so now. And Daniel was able to squeak it away in game 5 just barely, as he almost went down in 4. But he was able to take him down, and now he's going up against another Feer 500 contestant in Chronic. Chronic may not have been the Feer 500 champion, but everybody knows that on any given day, Chronic could go insane and take over. Flip reset early from him, so it's still the Chronic we know and love, and it's going to go in. My goodness, this is why, when asked on Reddit, whose style of playing I like to watch the most, Chronic was involved. He was definitely one of the names. He's just such an exciting player, as he loves to go for those flip resets in every opportunity that he can, and he's so good at them too. It's so hard to do those correctly, as other people have shown us before, as not everyone is able to finish them out. Another aerial pop from him, trying to bait Daniel in up early and then trying to sneak it under. But he's unable to. Daniel with control. Both these guys no boost as they try and rush it back to the net. And Daniel finds the inside of the post to regain the lead 2-1. Chronic looking like he's trying to grab a bump there. It's been a while since we've seen a Dominus back on the field. Normally we don't see Dominuses in ones, but when we were playing the Feer 500, we actually saw so many Dominuses I started to think that it was 50-50 out there. Stealth played Dominus, Robo played Dominus, Chronic played Dominus. I thought, man, maybe it's more 50-50 in the 1v1 world than I thought. But oh, sorry, looking at Chronic's TTV, by the way. I gave him Daniel crap for putting it in his name, but Chronic had it in his name like a moment ago, I thought. Nice quick play from Chronic to put it in the bottom corner. This game is so much faster just right away. Has Daniel arrived? People are saying yes. Definitely this would be a way to show that he has arrived if he's able to take down Chronic. Recently, Johnny Boy announced that there's going to be a Salt Mine 2, which of course us 1v1 fans love and are excited about, but because it's sponsored by Psyonix, everyone needs to be 15. Right now, this matchup, of a couple of the best 1v1ers there are right now, is not an allowed matchup in the Salt Mine, unfortunately. Both these guys too young. So that's right, it's a Feer special for you guys. You know where to go if you want to watch the insane youngsters, I guess. Is this for money? It's for money if anybody donates. Otherwise, it's for pride. Chronic, nice. 50-50 at midfield. Daniel trying to start a dribble and just not corralling it well enough, as he leaves an opening for Chronic to challenge and take it away. Chronic can control the kickoff immediately. He's going to go back up 4-3. I don't know how these kids are so good. Their brains are so fast, man. What the heck? Could never dream to play as fast. Chronic taking this one to the air off kickoff. Flip reset opportunity. And pretty much only him would I have the faith to actually corral this one back on net, because that first touch was not great as it was headed off into the corner. But Chronic did find a way to get it back and make it a reliable touch. Nice quick play from Daniel as this ball bounces the corner. Chronic did not realize, maybe lost in his camera for a moment, and did not realize that Daniel was turning around instantly after stealing that corner boost. Big kickoff from Chronic works perfectly as Daniel doesn't make the read. Gonna turn to an easy goal for Chronic. I mean, this game, just watching it in the first few moments, is so obviously faster than the game we played before, despite Daniel being in both of them. I think Sharp is just such like a clinical controlling player. He slows down the game, even if he's not the one who ends up winning. He just kind of tries to play it at his own pace, which I think is a little bit slower than some of these insanely fast guys. But a game like Daniel versus Chronic, I think we're going to see these dudes zooming around the whole time. Daniel low boost deep in Chronic's half, trying to turn it into something. But instead, Chronic saves it away easily and is in control. His flick is high. Daniel getting caught just barely on the post of his goal, which is so important to not get caught inside the goal. It's the difference between Chronic having a really easy opportunity right now and Daniel being able to stay behind it. It's making sure you can quickly recover after your tough save. Daniel just barely does so, and now he's in control, trying to dribble to the top corner, and Chronic is actually there. He does a good job to get up to the corner using the underside of his goal, but somehow doesn't make it there quite in time as Daniel pushes it in right before Chronic makes it there. All tied up 5-5. Daniel looking like he was going to potentially try and set up a hook shot, but instead tries to squeeze it past Chronic, and he's going back for his boost starvation style of play. Daniel just refuses to slow down, and he's going to keep doing so. He gets demoed by Chronic on the land. That was very close. I did not expect Chronic to actually get a demo by landing on top of him. But the Goomba smash means Chronic takes control. Finally, Daniel is forced to slow down without any boost. Chronic's going to take to the air right away. A good touch off the crossbar with Daniel flying away, but Daniel actually gets the bump on Chronic, which is enough to take him offline. Another flip reset, obviously, from Chronic. He uses it early, and it doesn't quite go in all the way at first, but it will go in eventually as Chronic taps in his sixth goal. Just so nasty how consistently he can do this. This is so hard to do. Hit these flip resets and make these plays so reliably. And yet Chronic makes it look like it's second nature, like it's just like an air dribble. You know, sometimes you play low, sometimes you take an air dribble high. It's all the same. But it really, really isn't, as it is normally so tough to do those in Chronic with the pre-flip after the demo to keep this ball just barely out of his net. What an insane save with 30 seconds left to go. That might be the game-saving save as he takes this ball around in the corner, trying to keep control of it and keep his own boost. Daniel playing fast and challenging early. A nice 50 in favor of him, but with absolutely nothing, he is forced to give away control. Chronic, this is what I'm talking about, getting stuck in his own goal on the recovery. Means Daniel's going to have a much better opportunity than he would have otherwise, but his flick is fairly weak. Chronic still has a tough time saving it away with the little boost that he has. Early challenge from Chronic. Daniel pushes up over him, and that is going to be a tie game. Nice play here from Daniel. Interesting decision from Chronic. He had low boost late in this game, and he decided to try and close the distance and stop Daniel before he could get anything going. But instead, he ends up just putting himself in the perfect spot for Daniel to pop it over him. Daniel ties it up. 6-6, game number one will be decided in overtime. This ball currently in Daniel's corner. Chronic trying to find a way in, but uses up all his boost and he's unable to. Daniel going for a quick shot off the wall, and he finds the spot on the net that Chronic cannot save. This is such a tough shot from Daniel. This ball flying so far off the wall. It is risky to try and play this one fast. There's absolutely no way he can use his second jump to get to that ball, so instead he just speeds to it as fast as he can. Or sorry, he uses his second jump to hit the ball, which is usually the most reliable way to get a powerful shot. But what a great shot by Daniel to take game number one. Game number one in favor of the challenger, Daniel RL3. TTV, by the way, as he's barely able to squeak in a 0-second goal and then gets the game winner in overtime. Chronic has hopped off the Dominus and back in the Octane. He's probably played 90% of games on our stream in the Dominus. He definitely used to play his games of old in the Octane, I feel like. He used this flip reset to push it in the bottom right corner, but Daniel's able to keep it away. Chronic doing so well to hold on to lots of boost. Trying to use that flip reset low to push it in. Is unable to, but keeping the pressure on as his backflip forces Daniel into another save. Long shot from Daniel, and Chronic is there. Can he get his own boost? Yes, he can. So this counterattack actually might be open, and he's found the spot in net that Daniel can't get to. So first goal of game number 2 will go in favor of Chronic. Yo, Rye Lacey with the 23-month Tier 1 sub. Get those oh babies. We're getting close to that 2-year mark. Daniel fake kickoff to take control. Now both these guys have done a fake kickoff to each other. Daniel, the jump pop and not demo, but bump, but so high up in the air that the ball ends up just landing on the backboard. Daniel trying to take control again, but he jumps a little bit early, and he's pretty much forced to lose control with his air dribble. Chronic, nice play. Just staying close to Daniel and really just pressuring him, making him feel uncomfortable on the wall. None of these challenges are usually that great, but if he never lets Daniel get any sort of momentum or get in any groove and get the ball set up in the place that he wants to, then he's able to just take these little chip shots and challenges when Daniel doesn't expect and take it away for a goal. Chronic is not letting Daniel get in his groove nearly as much as he was in the last series, but this time around, Daniel just rushing into the close corner. Kind of a missed flick. Ends up being a better touch than if he had actually hit it, because Chronic was trying to save the flick touch. Instead, it falls close goal, and then Daniel's able to squeeze it in. Chronic not backing down. Look at how he's staying close in these situations, even when that ball's bouncing high, and Daniel has the boost to make fast plays. Chronic is just not letting him take any open possessions. Such a fast game here as these two trade blows back and forth, but Chronic finds an opportunity to take a long shot on net. Nick Stevie's. FeerRL is the best. What's going on, Nick? Get the oh babies in chat for Nick as he gives us the Twitch Prime. Much appreciated, brother man.
Nick is the best.
I eat bunnies with the tier 1 sub saying Nick's the best. Thank you so much, guys. We got a nice matchup for you today. Chronic's flip reset this time is saved away. Sometimes that'll happen to Chronic, but way less often than it does to anybody else. This one's a little bit over aggressive, and Daniel's going to slap in the counterattack. Daniel trying to take this into his own half to take control, but Chronic kept the pressure on. Chronic needing to hop it out to mid-boost. He's waiting so long to actually challenge this one, as Daniel looked like he was taken into a dangerous position, but Chronic knew better than me and was not worried with the challenge from Daniel as he takes control. Daniel's low boost, so we'll see how he punishes him in this situation. Tried to play it slow and put it behind him and maybe hope that Daniel was going to panic, but Daniel didn't as he plays it smart. Flip reset for him. So he's trying to do what Chronic does to everybody else. Chronic hits him with the thanks. This is a nice play from Daniel. Learned it from the best. Maybe his opponent right here, really well placed in the top of the net. I have gained a little respect from you now. Chronic just likes to see people go for flip resets like himself. All of a sudden he says, "You're a worthy opponent." Nice. He's so good at these, man. These are so hard. Another good setup from Chronic. This time he gets just a little bit of elevation on the ball, and it looks like almost nothing if you're not a trained eye, but he really gets extra elevation on that. Stops it from falling down, and Daniel goes flying under. the lead is back in favor of Chronic. Nice catch on the wall and flick from Daniel to put on this fourth. Chronic into the corner to grab his boost, and he thought he had set up his shadow in a good enough position to stop out Daniel's shot. But he did not. A hype train? What's a hype train? What is going on with that? This is the first ever hype train for us. 94% on the hype train, y'all. Well, this is certainly a hype train level match right now, as Daniel was able to take game number 1 like we maybe wouldn't have expected. Chronic putting the pressure on with a few shots in a row is going to take back the lead in game number 2. Game number 2 has definitely went in favor of Chronic, as he has just been taking lead after lead. Daniel's only been able to ever tie it up. Really early pre-jump from Daniel. Not surprised to see Chronic play that one low and try and take it under him.
I guess we're doing this.
Let's go with the bits from Only Way. Get us in the hype train, whatever that is. People are going to have to let me know what that means for us. Chronic air dribble from midfield. This time no flip reset, no bump. But the bump comes later, and unless Daniel gets a good spawn, which Daniel does get maybe the perfect spawn to keep that one out. Good RNG for him with 47 seconds left. Chronic just pushing this down to Daniel's side, wasting a little bit of time and giving himself a moment to breathe and grab some boost. Daniel almost just having to like panic jump to stay with this ball. He was bouncing too high and he was just trying to prevent Chronic from taking control, and he almost turned it into a nice shot. Really well placed flick. Top corner, he's not able to finish it off. Chronic saves it away. I don't know what Daniel seemed like he played that a little bit extra slow. I don't know why he wasn't up for that one early. I felt like he could have got there, but obviously Daniel would have smacked it in if he had thought he had the opportunity. Chronic's able to save this air dribble away, pushes it higher than it needs to be to go into the net, and even almost a 6th goal. But either way, Chronic will take game number 2, 5-4. Game number 3, Chronic versus Daniel. Daniel was able to sneak one away in game number 2, but not, in game number 1, but not game number 2, as Chronic takes control. The one thing he was able to sneak away from Chronic, that was a little bit of extra gained respect, as Daniel was able to get a flip reset on Chronic. And he's going to start this one off in the lead, a lead he'd been desperately searching for the past few minutes. Daniel's been playing really, really well in the corner here. It is not easy to turn these into good situations. It's hard to corral this ball and put flicks and stuff on net, but he plays it fast and he gets under the ball for the power shot. And that's a really nice play from Daniel to go up 2-0. I don't know, we're in game number 2, right? Or game number 3. Chronic's gonna get his first 3 of 5, well, depending who wins. You're a different breed, says Chronic, of like mechanical weirdness. Well, whatever it is, it's working for Daniel right now as he's up in game number 3. Chronic's able to get his first from a kickoff goal. This will be another free one for Daniel. No mechanical weirdness required here, as Chronic's shot is just not strong enough, and Daniel will take the counterattack. Chronic aware of the fact that, I mean, these guys are so good. To shoot that is impressive. I think he's still talking about the corner shot. There's no way he was talking about that counterattack. But honestly, that is what was so special about that. That's such a hard shot, really, to get under that ball and shoot it immediately from the corner. But Daniel's been doing so well and mixing stuff up like that in order to score it. Nice setup to himself off the back wall from Chronic. This is just too nice. The triple touch to put it in the top corner. Daniel is just forced to jump eventually, but it's not going to matter as Chronic is in control. We're witnessing a bromance. Daniel's able to save this initial shot easily, but is now low on boost. Chronic's taking this around the world, making sure he gets to every full boost pad before Daniel. But Daniel bought himself enough time to grab 100 at midfield, and he just barely taps this one away, but he gets demoed. So he's in a rough spot to not prevent Chronic from tying it back up, and Chronic will do just that as we get to 3-3. Hype train success, y'all. Level 1 hype train. Look like now we finally got our emotes for the level 1 hype train. Chronic is impressed though. Chronic is unaware that Daniel was improving so much. So he's going to get a nod from the experienced ones veteran. Nice flip reset. This is so nasty, man. When you set him up as well as Chronic does, it's so easy to time this flip. He gets that flip early and he can just sit and hover and wait for Daniel to make his challenge, knowing that that frickin' flip is threatening at any moment. And he puts it in perfectly above Daniel after Daniel comes off the wall. Daniel flip reset of his own. These guys trading blows. Chronic not able to stop this one. This one didn't seem quite as nasty as Chronic's, but Chronic almost looked like he was there. I don't know how he didn't get that touch. It seemed like he made the right read, but his car was just a little bit too deep in the net or something. So Daniel's going to tie it back up. Daniel flick. Was that a little bit of a Johnsky? Was he starting to Johnsky there, chat? Whatever it is going to kind of lull Chronic into a sleep. As Chronic has lots of boost and definitely is able to take this one away. But he's just like, has to wait and respect what Daniel's going to go for. I don't know if it was quite the Johnsky, but boy was it close. Daniel in control again off kickoff. That was the full Johnsky! Oh my goodness, the Johnsky flick! It was there. He even did the version that I think is more of a flick than the version we were originally taught, where he actually like uses the backflip to flick it off. But he does not find the back of the net. He's going to go searching for Chronic on this bounce and finds him perfectly to go up 6-4. Oh, never mind. The respect is lost. He went for the air dribble bump, and that's not allowed in Chronic's mind. Daniel, is he going to put on another flip reset here? Looks like he gets it super early. Chronic's up for the challenge early, but it's going to make it actually easy for Daniel to tap it in. Watch this from the defender's perspective. See, he sees Daniel get it early, and I think he just thought that's why... I think he thought Daniel was going to use his flip to try and get it over him early, so he tried to get that extra elevation to stay in front of the ball, but he's not able to. And Daniel is up 7-4. Daniel's grinding super hard, as is made apparent by Chronic checking his hours. Chronic is trying to get baited in here. Daniel felt like he had no incentive to make a play until Chronic actually came at him, and that felt like an open net maybe missed for Chronic. How do you play 12 hours a day without getting burnt out? I guess you'd be 13 years old. To me, honestly, the only way that makes sense to me is just like leaving the game on sometimes. I can't imagine you could play this. I mean, I don't know. Maybe back in the day when I was a youngster, like Daniel here. Not able to get his second touch off the back wall. Chronic electing to save it at the last moment, but hasn't been able to corral it enough to buy back some boost here. Flip reset. Daniel uses it, but actually just makes it easier for Chronic to save. It was impressive that he got it, but probably should have just taken it to the ground and tried to pop it over Chronic afterwards. Well played shot, as Daniel has kept this possession going for a long time, long enough to almost secure the game just purely. Was that a little bit of a Johnsky as well? Demo from Chronic. He's got a minute left to score 3 and come back in this game number 3. He's going to get an air dribble bump of his own. Daniel still almost got there. And I'd be surprised if Daniel says nothing in chat after this one. He leaves the game on a lot. Oh, he's not going to talk about the air dribble bump. The Johnski air dribble. Evan, I think you think everything's a Johnski no matter what. Chronic finally in control of the game here after spending what felt like so many minutes in his own half with low boost. He is able to break away and get a goal and has been in control ever since, but with 30 seconds left, he's going to need to be in lots of control, and it's going to start right there with his 6th goal, so he's got 25 for one more. Oh, how kickoffs can reset the momentum. And another kickoff in favor of Chronic, and this is in his favorite position, maybe not quite favorite, as he can't perfectly set up a flip reset from there. Daniel early challenge, using his flip to keep it above Chronic so that Chronic's forced to save it into his own half. Chronic's been holding on to his boost, but he's being maybe a little bit too patient here. Or maybe not. Maybe he's aware of exactly what he's doing. He has to use up all his boost to save it away. Daniel really should have not touched the ball, as that actually gave a chance for Chronic to win, because he could have just let it roll away, but instead he's going to take the shot. And Daniel's going to go up 2-1 against the veteran Chronic. Every single game has been close, but 2 of them have been in favor of the newcomer Daniel and only 1 for Chronic. So he's looking to come back and force a game number 5 here in game 4. And surprisingly, Daniel's just looking to continue the momentum he has now to end it in 4. What a shot from Chronic. It's interesting sometimes to watch it from the defender's perspective, like we just did. I mean, there's no time you can ever challenge. That's the beauty of the flip reset, and what a great catch by Chronic. But at any moment, you challenge and Chronic will use that flip to just tap it over you. But if you sit on the ground and wait, he will catch it on the ground and flick it over you. So there's nothing good that can ever come from it. He's absolutely lethal with those, and that's why Sharp, when he won in the Feer 500, was just ball chasing him like crazy to try and make sure that he never even had any opportunity to get started with that play because of how good he was at it. But right now, Daniel trying to handle it in a different way. Daniel like a little bit of a fake challenge. I don't know if Chronic got that flip reset and didn't use it, or just wasn't able to get it. Daniel almost puts it in his own net, but just barely pinches it off. Chronic tapping it to himself off the backboard, knowing that Daniel was ready to take away the immediate shot. Nice challenge from Chronic. Good potential half flip to try and rush it to the net. Not able to, but he is able to force Daniel off his own boost. So this is certainly an advantageous position for Chronic. We'll see if he's able to turn it into a goal. Interesting decision to take the aerial play here, especially with Daniel with low boost. It seems like a good way to handle people with low boost is usually just to put shot on after shot after shot and never let them have a moment to grab boost or to have any relief. Whereas playing that aerial out to midfield actually kind of slows the game down a little bit and lets Daniel get his wits about him. Oh, nice flick from Chronic. But he ends up pushing it too high, and Daniel's going to be able to take control. This game is absolutely nutty. Daniel's had enough of Chronic playing on top of him, so he's going to take his opportunity to pound a long shot all the way across the field. Interesting kickoff from Chronic. I actually feel like people are doing this intentionally sometimes. I don't know if Chronic's was intentionally, but sometimes they're actually able to set themselves up in a perfect spot where they get a pretty good 50 if the other player doesn't adjust correctly. Of course, it is super risky if they are doing it intentionally, because something that could happen is Daniel can just make the read and then take it straight to the net. Chronic uses this flip reset to wave dash as he brings it back to his corner just to try and take control. Daniel in shadow defense, his fake challenge forces a flick from Chronic. Low 50 attempt, and Daniel does a good enough job to push it high. Chronic too fast for Daniel though. and Chronic will get his second goal. Nice recovery from Chronic off the goal. Good air roll shot here last second. Air roll, diagonal flip to squeeze it just the ins past Daniel that he needed to make sure he scored. This is a good situation for Chronic. If Chronic could get this after every kickoff, I'm sure he would take it, but really good defense from Daniel to not only keep the initial attack out, but also the ensuing 50-50 that was going to come from it. Chronic chipping this one high. Daniel uses up half his boost to keep it away. Now he's completely and that'll be it. Chronic will get the long shot. That's right. If you guys played WoW, you heard me say That's the way I like to refer to people being completely out of boost. Even though there's no mana in this game. Daniel just a little bit over aggressive in that last play, using up the very little boost he had just to get into the corner, which was going to leave an easy opportunity for Chronic. Chronic slow dribble, but elected not to jump on Daniel's challenge. I guess probably because it could have been a fake, and he knew that even if Daniel took it right off the top of his car, it wasn't going to be a straight in the net type situation, so he had time to come back and get behind it. Chronic passes it up to Daniel on the wall to make sure that Daniel has to play it slow. But that does end up putting him in a great position to air dribble. He's not able to secure it. Low 50 at midfield in favor of Chronic. And he'll squeeze it in. Daniel just getting a little bit lost here. I don't know if he was trying to go for a demo or what. He definitely has the boost. Yeah, maybe he was just thinking he was going to be able to demo and wasn't focusing on the ball. Chronic is able to jump over him and dodge it and tap in his fourth. The game has got a little bit more grounded here as these two both feel that the game or the match is on the line. Daniel trying to secure it before it goes to game 5, and Chronic trying to come back. Another kick out to Chronic. This is certainly the way to come back in a game. Daniel actually jumps up early and uses up all his boosts just to prevent the initial play. Look at the recovery from him. It's not going to work out. Chronic is going to get the demo, but Daniel is finding a way to make those zero boost plays deep in Chronic's half not be as risky as they would normally feel because he's so quick at recovering. This time it is going to be as risky as we thought as Chronic gets the demo on him and taps into 6th. Well, unfortunate little pass. This Chronic gets too much separation on himself and the ball on the wall here. Ends up just being the perfect pass. Chronic slams it off the back wall to buy himself some time. And a well-timed challenge on Daniel's dribble. Might be good enough to secure it if he can keep possession for the last few moments. He is going to dribble it back into his own half, but with low boost and Daniel barreling down on him, that actually seemed like a pretty risky decision, especially considering Daniel was certainly going supersonic. So if he could have just clipped any part of Chronic's car, it would have been an easy goal after the demo. Nice pinch on the sidewall from Daniel to turn that into almost something, but it looks like game number 4 will be Chronic's. Really put one more stylish goal on for us. Little GG from Daniel. Chronic's not able to get the flip reset. And this will be another game 5 hype in the chat. Wait, not that one. This one. They're both blue and white. Game 5 and the surprising switch back to the Dominus for Chronic. He's bookending the series in the Dominus today. He played the 3 middle games in the Octane. I think he likes his flip resets and aerial plays better in the Dominus, if I had to guess. But maybe thinks the Octane is more tryhardy. Who knows? It's hard to get into his head, but either way, he's back into the Dominus, and he will get the first goal of game number 5. Daniel's insane, but he makes too many mistakes. He definitely tries to just make up for lots of silly plays by himself with just pure speed. And he's able to do it against most people he plays against, but Chronic is going to be one of those guys. He's going to have a really hard time doing it. 8 Mikey, is this for money or no? If you donate, it will be for money. So feel free to donate, and any donations, any PayPal donations will go to a prize pool for these guys, which I'm sure they would greatly appreciate. But unfortunately, I'm saving up the money we make so we can hold those leagues. Leagues like the Feer 500. Which you can do !Feer 500, or you can go check the YouTube VODs to understand what that is. Daniel is finding opportunities to put these long shots in more than any of his opponents. Every once in a while, even deep on his own half, he just realizes, you know what? I don't think they're ready for the full power shot from my own side. And he's been right on almost every time he's decided to do that. He's going to tie it back up. Thanks, OZRL, for the follow. Long shot from Chronic. Daniel felt like he could have got up for it, but wasn't able to. Maybe I'll go make sure I reset our prize pool indicator so they can at least show on screen so people know if they donate, it'll go to the prize pool. A flip reset from Chronic puts the ball too high. Daniel's able to save it easily, but almost leaves the net open as he goes to grab boost in the corner. Lots of open space for Chronic where he's most deadly. Daniel closes the gap in time. This might be the second most dangerous spot for a Chronic to be in as he takes an air dribble off the wall, but maybe a little bit too fast as he's not able to corral it and actually put a redirection before Daniel was able to save it away. Nice play here from Daniel as he starts an air dribble and then tries to take the low 50-50. I'm not sure Chronic got a touch on it. Or Chronic kind of flipped away from it instead of into it. And that left Daniel to take it away easily. He wraps around it to put in the low dribble goal. Flip reset gets almost no movement on the ball from Chronic. It actually just slowed it down a little bit, which almost ended up being good enough to squeeze it behind Daniel. But Daniel's there as he plays this off the wall to get it past Chronic. But this play is going to cost him a lot of boost. He plays so fast. Chronic backflip sends this high. If Daniel had a lot of boost, that would surely be a death wish. But lucky for him, it's not too dangerous considering his opponent is sitting with 12 and not a lot of opportunities to put something dangerous on net. Chronic with a really early challenge, thinking he was going to be able to take it away from Daniel, but Daniel just playing so fast, faster than these people are expecting. He's just grabbing it. Good catch and flick right away. And that gets the separation that he needs to get it past Chronic. There is an angle there. Can Daniel find it? No. As he pushes it off the far post. Chronic doing his best to grab every pad he can and hold on to the 40 boost he does have. And he's baited Daniel into the perfect situation. I wonder if Daniel thought Chronic didn't have enough to get up to this one. But he did. So he perfectly baits Daniel up and takes the long shot to tie it back up. Minute 30 left, and it's coming down to the wire in this game number 5 between Chronic and Daniel. If Daniel was able to take Chronic and Sharp down in one night, that would be quite the proof of his caliber in one day. But even if he doesn't take Chronic down at this point, the fact that he's forced it to be this close in game number 5 might be enough. He's going to go for the Night Owl bump and not connect. Been a while since a serious attempt on net has been made. Low boost for both these guys. Daniel flicks it too hard. Actually puts it off the backboard. If he had put that on net, these guys were not in a position to save it away. But finally, a little full reset here. Daniel elects to take it high when given the open opportunity. He's got the flip reset, but Chronic with a nice challenge, and the counterattack might be the entire game in that play we watched right there. Daniel finally given space, and he goes up for the flip reset and tries to use the backflip to push it past Chronic, but Chronic has the save and puts himself up with 28 seconds left. We'll see if Daniel mixes up the kickoff. Oh, Chronic's going to mix up the kickoff as he's trying to secure his game. He's going to go for the fake kickoff. And Daniel in control. Not able to squeeze it past Chronic, though. 16 seconds left. Both these guys full boost, but Chronic waiting on the wall, just trying to bait Daniel into making a poor challenge. But instead, he's going to make a poor challenge on the ground. 8 seconds left. Daniel trying to play fast. Chronic's going to take this into his own corner. Daniel up super early on the corner to try and challenge this one. I don't know if that was the play, but of course, these guys are the top 100 guys, so I've got to trust them. But that'll be a GG's, as Daniel was almost able to topple Sharp and Chronic in one night, but Chronic is going to take him down. GG's.